Hello, welcome to day one of glass. There's some things that you're going to need every day when you're working with glass. First, you're going to need your glass cutters. You're going to need an oil cup, a brush so that you can brush off your desk away from you so that you don't get shards of glass all over you. Probably typically need some of these pliers called Grosing pliers. Today we're going to use 2 pairs of them at the same time. I'll show you that later. And then we're going to be working with, of course, you should have a piece of glass like that, and then one of these handouts. I'm going to show you how to work with these things. First things first, though, is you need to understand how to properly hold your glass cutters. I know this is weird. It's like, how am I ever going to cut through glass with this? But I'll show you how. And you need to know how to properly handle them. So first things first is you want to get it into your dominant hand. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to hold my my glass cutters in my dominant hand. And this nice area right here, well, that's a perfect little spot for me to just put my thumb right there. And I just kind of hold it almost like I'm going golfing, or yeah, just like I'm golfing, okay? Now I don't have my finger out here. That's wrong. You just keep it tucked in there, okay? Now there's some teeth on here. 1, 2, 3. We call these the teeth. What you want to do is, once you're holding it like that, you hold your other hand, it wraps around it, kind of like you're playing volleyball for you volleyball players, or again, if you're playing golf. And then I want my thumb to just kind of rest on that first tooth. Not over here, okay, just this tooth right here. I just want to kind of feel it with my thumb, with my other one, okay? And then that's the way to do it, that's the way to hold it. When I'm about to cut glass, I want to make sure that I hold my glass cutters at a 45-degree angle. Okay, so you can't see it from this camera angle, but I'm going to hold it. I'm not going to hold it straight up and down like this. I'm not going to hold it flat. I'm going to hold it at an angle. Okay, and then I also want to crouch down in front of this so that I can see the little wheel popping through the front. So if I hold my glass cutters way out here, I can't see the wheel, and then I don't know where I'm cutting. So I call this the constipated golfer's position, when you're crouched over a little bit so you can see the wheel popping out. Okay. So that's the proper way to hold your glass cutters. Now let's just get into this. So I'd like you to get this out in front of you. Okay. And I want you to take your piece of glass and set it onto your piece of paper. Make sure that this is closest to you, this side. Okay. Check with your table mates and make sure that they've got their papers correct. And I would like you to set your glass down, your edge against the edge of this paper. Long way. Hot dog. It should look like hot dog. It shouldn't be like this. I don't want that. I want it like this. So this edge should be lined up with the paper, and then your bottom edge should just be touching those 2 bottom little lines right here, because we're going to cut those. Okay. So it's in my dominant hand. My glass cutters are in my dominant hand, and then I just need to oil my wheel real quick. Little wheel on there so that it slides easily across the glass. Some people douse this thing in oil. And you don't need to do that. Just roll the wheel in oil and you're good. Okay. So I'm going to get into the correct position. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to start at the very, very edge of this glass. I'm just going to start in about a 1/4 inch. And I'm going to just kind of put a little pressure on this, some even pressure. I'm literally just going to use my own body weight and glide this wheel up this straight line right here. And you'll know that you're creating a score line because you'll hear some popping sounds. You'll know you'll be actually scratching the glass because you'll hear it start to make a little bit of a pop sound. And big thing you need to know is, this is not a Tonka truck. You do not go a bunch of times like that. You basically get 1 shot. So you want to score this whole line from end all the way to the other end. I don't want to go halfway, because then I'm going to confuse my glass and it's going to be like, where should I break? You want to go all the way. So let's start one. I'm going to ease into this and just glide right along. Try and lift up by the end so that your wheel doesn't clunk down on the table, because you don't want to damage your wheel. Okay? You can actually hear it. There is glass popping off of this. And so, as you can see, you created a nice score line, and already there's shards of glass popping off. So I want you guys to be careful. Now you can try to break this with your hand. So what we do is to cut a straight line like that, you can actually break it with your hand. And the position that you want to keep your hands in is as if you're like starting a car engine. You're grabbing your keys and you're going to like kind of pry down. So I don't want to keep my hands anywhere near this score line because I don't want to cut myself. I want to keep my thumbs away from it. And then I just kind of pry down like I'm starting a car, and let's see if I could do it. Not gonna happen, but that's okay. I will come. You can try to do this yourself, and yeah, it's not working for me today. But I will come around and help you break this straight line if you can't break it already with your bare hands. The next thing we're going to do, I'm actually going to sweep any pieces of shards off here, sweep away from myself. I would like you to take that small piece and lay it back on that line. Okay, and I'm going to practice scoring a straight line again. Okay, now this time, the shards of glass are literally popping off of the surface. Okay, I've got a new score line. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these Grosing pliers. Take a look at them. There's one side that's flat and one side that's curved. And I want you to keep the flat side up when you're doing this. Okay, I want you to grip like the glass like in the middle. Okay, not here, not here. I want you to grip it in the middle. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the side, and flat side up. And these pliers should be like they're on their second day and they're about to kiss each other. They're right in front of each other, ready to go. And then you just pry down, kind of like your chicken. Nah, yeah, like let's go back to that engine thing. Like you're about to rev an engine on a motorcycle. There you go. Okay. And what you can do now is you could practice a bunch of tiny little cuts. Teeny little score line, do you see that? But that's enough to tell the glass where to break. And again, I'm going to do it like I'm revving an engine. Boom. Okay. Now what I would like you to do is I want you to score a teeny tiny piece just about a 1/4 inch away from the edge of the paper, or the edge of the glass. Just like that. Okay. And to get this off, you can put the glass into the tooth just like that, and you just pry down. Do it again. Okay, you want to keep your score line up. Lines on that side, facing up. You insert your glass into the tooth and you pry down. Don't pry up. See, bad things happen that way. Just pry down. Just like that. You get these teeny little pieces. Alright. I'm just sweep my glass, sweep my paper. Take this now, I'm going to line up the edge with this curved line right there, okay? And it's been a little while since I've oiled my cutters, so I'm just going to roll my oil in them. Like I said before, do not over-oil this because I've literally seen students put so much oil on it that they go to do a line, and they're like, cool, I scored my glass, and there's a line of oil, not an actual score line. They're like, see, no, and then I rub it and the oil goes away. So this is a little careful. You kind of have to rock your hands a little bit, but I'm holding my glass cutters correctly. I can see, I really need to pay attention to my wheel now, especially because I'm doing a curved line, so you want to be as exact as possible. Start about a 1/4 inch away from the edge of the glass. Okay. Here we go. You can see that score line. You can also probably see